A noun is simply person, place, thing, object, or idea. Yeah, we remember those. Computer, librarian, Mr. Mitchell, stapler, that's an object, right? Justice, love are ideas or abstract nouns. Object receives the action of a verb. Objects often follow the verb. And in this case, we're talking about direct objects. Here's a hint. Find the verb in the sentence. Then ask what or whom. Here's an example of a direct object. We purchased a tablet computer. What did you purchase? A tablet computer. So tablet computer is the direct object because that's what you bought. So it receives the direct action of the verb. Purchased computer. Purchased a tablet computer. So again, a tablet computer is the direct object. You can see that it comes after the verb, and it is the thing that was purchased. An indirect object, on the other hand, is more like a recipient. Let's look at this example. The class gave Professor Hampton a book and a card. Yes. So gave is the verb, right? Very good. We have identified the verb. Gave what? A book and a card. So a book and a card comprise the direct objects. To whom did you give these items? Professor Hampton. So Professor Hampton is the indirect object or the recipient in this sentence. Remember, you can always pause the video or look at the accompanying lecture notes to really allow this information to soak in. Okay, let's move on. Phrase, a group of related words that does not express a complete thought. Sort of like a clause, right? For example, in the garden was a statue. In the garden is technically a prepositional phrase, right? Well, you can also move that around, can't you? A statue was in the garden. Here's an example of a prepositional phrase. Stop at the count of 10. At the count is one prepositional phrase. Of 10 is another one. Participle phrase. Holding the dog by the collar, the boy refused to let go. And of course, the highlighted holding the dog by its collar is the participle phrase. Gerund phrase. Using profane language is not allowed here. Gerunds are words that usually are used as verbs that are actually being used as a noun. When words that look like verbs are used as nouns, they are called gerunds. Using profane language is a gerund phrase that is being used as a noun. In fact, it is the subject of this short sentence, isn't it? Whereas the verb is allowed. So what has to be the subject? Using profane language, because that's what you're talking about. Using profane language is the thing that is not allowed, which makes this gerund phrase the subject of the sentence. Oh, yeah. That's getting really technical, but you know what? You can impress so many people with this information. But do not get confused. Let's look at an infinitive phrase. I have a bone to pick with you. Noun phrase. What he did annoyed me. Similar situation as the gerund phrase. What he did annoyed me. Well, what annoyed you? What he did. Verb phrase. She could have been watching him. Now, a verb phrase includes the main verb and all of its auxiliaries, right? Could have been watching makes up the complete verb phrase. A preposition is a function word that shows relationship. A preposition often describes location or position. For example, in, around, under, behind, by, on, between. All of those words give some sense of location or position, right? And of course, this is not a comprehensive list, but examples of some of the more common prepositions. Pronoun can take the place of another noun, pronoun, or noun phrase. The substitution does not change the structure or meaning of the sentence, meaning when you insert a pronoun, It does not change the meaning or the intent or the structure of the sentence. Let's look at an example. I saw Diane yesterday at the grocery store. I saw her yesterday at the grocery store. Who is her referring to? Diane. Does the insertion of her change the nature of the sentence? No. The pronoun makes it a little vague because if someone says to you, I saw her yesterday at the grocery store, you might say, saw who? Diane. Get the relationship? A sentence. Oh, we know this. A group of words that includes a subject and a verb, and that does what? Expresses a complete thought. Absolutely. The night janitor emptied the trash cans and set the alarm. An example of a complete sentence. The subject is highly critical to the sentence, is it not? It is the person, thing, or idea that the sentence is about. All complete sentences must have a subject. Example, the financial analyst examined the report. Analyst is the subject. Financial is not included in the subject because what? It's an adjective. Financial is an adjective, but analyst is the true subject or the simple subject in the sentence. So what's the verb? Let's get a little practice here. Examined. So the report is what part of speech? The direct object. Yeah, you've got it. Good old verbs express action, condition, or state of being. Writes, am, is, documents, transcribes. I am sick is a condition. She is relaxing is a state of being. So that's what we mean there. More examples. Let's go back to the last one we just read. The night janitor emptied, that's a verb, the trash cans and set the alarm. So in summary, we have gone through several parts of speech, the most common parts of speech here. Adjective, adverb, antecedent, clause, conjunction, interjection, modifier, noun, object, phrase, preposition, pronoun, sentence, subject, and verb. So hopefully you have gotten a lot out of this presentation. You might not have remembered some of these terms, but I bet you they've all come back to you now since grade school, right? Which is probably the last time any of us had grammar, true grammar. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and happy writing.